Asterisk, the world is a battlefield. Life is chaotic and ever-changing. It doesn't care about your comfort. Those who resist change are left behind. Those who master adaptability rise above. If you're still clinging to rigidity, still letting ego dictate your actions, still fearing uncertainty, then you're already losing. But if you're ready to embrace adaptability, to thrive in chaos, and to master change, then this is for you. Welcome to the fight. Asterisk, life is a chaotic storm that never waits, never pauses, and certainly never cares about your comfort. It sweeps through your existence with violent winds of change, ripping away everything you thought was certain and safe. The world doesn't owe you time or mercy. It offers no handouts, no second chances for those too stubborn or too scared to evolve. The weak cling to the illusion that the world will wait for them to catch up, that their fear of change will be forgiven, that hesitation is an option. But in truth, hesitation is a death sentence. It's the silent killer that crushes dreams beneath the crushing weight of time slipping away. The battlefield is ruthless, and it demands more than strength, it demands adaptability. Those who refuse to change, who resist the inevitable tides shifting beneath their feet, become roadkill in the march of progress. They are left behind, swallowed by the darkness of irrelevance, forgotten by a world that moves on without them. The strong understand this brutal reality. The world does not reward comfort or stubbornness. It respects only those who master the art of transformation. The masters of adaptability do not bend. They become the storm itself, unpredictable, relentless, and unstoppable. If you want to rise, you must become a force that flows like water, strikes like lightning, and shifts like the winds of chaos. You must embrace the discomfort of change, welcome the challenge of uncertainty, and sharpen yourself in the crucible of constant evolution. Clinging to the past is a weakness you cannot afford. Embrace adaptability not as a choice, but as your only weapon for survival and dominance. Because this world, this ruthless battlefield, belongs only to those who can change, conquer, and rise above the wreckage left behind by the weak. True strength isn't about standing rigid and unyielding until you shatter. It's about bending, twisting, and shifting under pressure without losing the essence of who you are. The world tests you like a tempest, breaking the brittle and sparing only the flexible. Rigidity is a slow suicide, a trap that leads to inevitable downfall. Those who refuse to adapt become brittle statues crumbling under the weight of change, their strength nothing but a fragile illusion. Adaptability is the true mark of power. It is not weakness, it is the weapon forged in fire that cuts through adversity and shapes destiny. The weak confuse stubbornness with strength, clinging to outdated beliefs and worn-out comforts, blind to the danger of their own inflexibility. But the strong see the truth clearly. Greatness lies in the ability to evolve, to flow, to transform without losing the core of their purpose and identity. If you want to rise, truly rise beyond the masses who break and fall, you must embrace adaptability with ruthless determination. You must learn to shift like shadows, to bend like steel under pressure, and to wield change as your greatest ally. Because adaptability is strength, not weakness. It is the difference between surviving and conquering, between fading into obscurity and rising to immortality. Ego is the invisible chain that binds the mind to yesterday's failures and illusions, a poisonous whisper feeding lies of false certainty and stubborn pride. It resists change like a caged beast, snarling at the very idea of transformation, clutching desperately to outdated beliefs and worn-out habits. But true growth demands something far darker and deeper: humility. The humility to admit mistakes, to break down the walls built by arrogance, and to embrace the painful, relentless process of becoming something new. The weak mistake ego for strength, confusing their own stubbornness for power. They wear their pride like armor, unaware that it is a prison that suffocates potential and kills evolution. Ego blinds, deafens, and deafens the warrior to the truth that to rise, you must break free from the self-delusion that you are already enough. The strong understand that ego is not strength, it is the greatest enemy of greatness. If you want to rise, truly rise, you must reject ego with every fiber of your being. Tear down the false idols of pride and certainty. Because ego is the enemy of growth, And only when you kill your ego do you open the door to ruthless transformation, to power forged in truth, and to the relentless climb toward greatness. The adaptable don't shrink back from uncertainty. They don't flinch when the ground beneath them twists and breaks. Instead, they lean into the chaos like a predator sensing weakness in its prey. Where others see confusion, fear, and collapse, the adaptable see opportunity, unrefined, and brutal chance to forge something stronger. Struggle isn't a curse. It's the hammer that shapes resilience. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It demands pain, discomfort, and the willingness to endure the storm. Chaos is the battlefield where the weak stumble, lose their footing, and fade into obscurity. They fear the unknown, crave stability, and try desperately to control what cannot be controlled. But the strong, the truly powerful, know the truth. Chaos is not the enemy, it is the path to greatness. It is the fire that burns away weakness, the crucible that tempers will into steel. If you want to rise, you must embrace the chaos. You must become the force that moves through the disorder with unbreakable will and ruthless adaptability. Because those who thrive in chaos don't just survive, they conquer. They become legends forged in the tempest, unstoppable and eternal. The world is a relentless force that punishes those who stand still, who cling to the familiar as if it were a lifeline. It rewards only the fluid, the ones who move, adapt, and evolve with the shifting tides. Critics will scream inconsistency, throw stones of doubt, and label your transformation as weakness. Ignore them. The fear of what they cannot grasp blinds them to the truth. They are shackled by their own rigidity, prisoners to a world that leaves no room for stagnation. Mastering change isn't just a skill, it's the very essence of mastering life itself. The weak see change as a threat, a storm to be avoided, a monster lurking to devour their comfort. But the strong, the relentless, the warriors of progress understand that change is not the enemy. Change is the path to brutal, unforgiving road to greatness. It is the force that breaks down the old, carves new paths, and builds legends from the ashes of destruction. If you want to rise, you must not only accept change, you must embrace it with savage determination. You must become the embodiment of fluidity, bending and twisting without breaking, conquering the chaos with a mind sharpened by transformation. Because mastering change is mastering life, and life honors only those who refuse to remain static, those who dare to rise again and again from the ashes of their former selves. Yesterday's knowledge is nothing but a faded shadow when faced with today's relentless challenges. The world spins faster, shifts harder, and demands more than yesterday's answers. To survive this chaos, a broad skill set is not a luxury, it is armor forged in the fires of relentless preparation. Confidence born from certainty is fragile. True confidence rises from capability, the unshakable power of knowing you can adapt, learn, and conquer whatever comes your way. The weak sit comfortably within their limited skill sets, blinded by arrogance or complacency, believing what they have is enough. But the strong are hunters in an ever-changing wilderness, forever sharpening their tools, expanding their arsenal, and evolving their craft. They understand that adaptability demands constant learning, that standing still means falling behind, and that survival depends on the relentless acquisition of new skills. If you want to rise, truly rise, you must refuse the comfort of stagnation. You must push yourself to learn, to grow, and to expand your skill set with ruthless urgency. Because in this unforgiving world, expanding your skill set isn't an option, it's survival. It's the difference between being crushed by change or wielding it as your weapon. Without self-awareness, you wander blind through a battlefield strewn with your own traps and weaknesses. You are a prisoner to your illusions, deaf to the subtle whispers of truth that could save you from destruction. Brutal honesty is the razor you must wield, cutting through the lies you tell yourself, breaking the chains of destructive habits and false beliefs that hold you hostage. Adaptability doesn't start with the world outside. It begins deep within the dark recesses of your mind. You must understand your own fears, your flaws, and the shadows lurking beneath your skin. Only then can you challenge them, confront them, and evolve beyond the person you were yesterday. The weak dismiss self-awareness as unnecessary, blind to the power that lies in knowing themselves completely, even the parts they hate. But the strong recognize self-awareness as the keystone of adaptability, the silent force that fuels transformation. If you want to rise, if you want to conquer the chaos and rise above mediocrity, you must embrace ruthless self-awareness. Because it is the key that unlocks the door to adaptability, the weapon that sharpens your mind, and the foundation on which greatness is built. Without it, you are lost. With it, you become unstoppable. Adaptability isn't a one-time fix or a simple skill you pick up and put down when convenient. It's a lifelong practice, a relentless cycle of reflection, learning, and ruthless adjustment. Every moment demands you evolve, to shed old skins and grow sharper, faster, smarter. The choice stands naked and unforgiving before you: evolve or be left behind, swallowed by a world that spares no patience for the static or the stagnant. The weak fool themselves into thinking adaptability is just a skill, something you can half learn and forget when discomfort creeps in. But the strong know better. Adaptability is a mindset, a brutal commitment to constant transformation. It's the mental armor that keeps you ready to strike, ready to shift, ready to dominate no matter what chaos storms through your life. If you want to rise, to shatter limits and crush mediocrity, you must embody this mindset. You must make adaptability your very nature, unceasing, unbreakable, relentless. Because adaptability is not just a skill to acquire, it is the way of survival, the path to power, and the mindset that births greatness. The world is a battlefield, ruthless and unforgiving, where only the strongest survive and rise. In this relentless war, adaptability is not a sign of weakness, it is the purest form of strength. To bend without breaking, to shift without losing your core, to thrive amid chaos, this is the weapon forged by those who refuse to be defeated. Ego stands in your way, the silent enemy of growth, whispering lies that chain you to the past. But to conquer, you must kill that ego and open your mind to transformation. Chaos is not your enemy, it is the furnace that tempers your will, the battleground where true warriors are forged. Mastering change is mastering life itself, a brutal dance that separates the conquerors from the casualties. You must expand your skill set, sharpening your arsenal relentlessly, because survival is no luxury, it is the bare minimum demanded by this merciless world. And none of this is possible without brutal self-awareness, the key that unlocks your capacity to adapt, to evolve, and to dominate. Adaptability is not just a skill to learn, it is a mindset to embody. A mindset that refuses stagnation, that embraces transformation with ruthless clarity and unwavering resolve. If you're ready to embrace adaptability, to thrive in the chaos, to master the unforgiving art of change, then this is your moment. The battlefield is waiting, the path is yours to claim. Master the art of adaptability. Rise above. Become unstoppable. Asterisk if this resonated with you. If you're ready to stop clinging to rigidity and start embracing adaptability, then hit that subscribe button. This is just the beginning. The journey to greatness is long, but it's worth it. And I'll be here every step of the way to guide you. So subscribe now, and let's rise together, asterisk.